Hey everybody, Timmy here for a relationship tip of the day or of the week. Um, I recently saw a video that was, I think it was titled 5 or 6 relationship killers. And I thought, what's the positive slant on that? How can we flip that? So 5 or 6 things that if these are in your relationship, it's a good thing. These are good things to have in your relationship. Clearly, they're just the opposite of the killers. So what are some good things to have in your relationship? Number one, and I wrote these down here, is being quick to apologize. And making sure that the apology is sincere and legit. You don't want to be, "Oh, I'm sorry, you know. But making sure that, if you've hurt your partner, that you are willing to apologize. And I think what's important here is to recognize what you did or how you hurt them. Some people will say, "Well, I'm sorry that you were hurt," or "I'm sorry that you felt hurt," or "I'm sorry that bothered you," which isn't an apology at all. That's don't do that. And that's easy for us, I think, because clearly we don't do anything wrong. We're perfect, right? They're misreading. They didn't know my intent. Right? They shouldn't feel that way. But the reality is they do feel that way. And whatever it was that you did or said that hurt them, it is important that you recognize how that was A, hurtful, B, wrong, and how you can adjust and learn from it and not do it again. So when I say be quick to apologize, not just quick to say sorry, but quick to know what you're apologizing for and why, and then making a sincere apology. Very, very, very important in a relationship. And when a relationship has that element in it, when you or your partner will apologize and recognize where they were wrong and where the offense was, that's powerful. I'm sure you, like all of us, have been in relationships where someone just didn't apologize. And it was, they couldn't find where they were at fault. It was always your fault, right? Even whenever they hurt you, it was your fault for letting that hurt you. It's always flipped back on you. So you're the problem in every problem. Okay. All right. Another element to have in a relationship that's really important is to have a life, have something that you as an individual are passionate about. I know relationships can be all-consuming, and there's a real entanglement in a relationship. Where two lives become one, and you start doing a lot of things together, and that's great. But making sure, I've said this for years and years and years and years, is you shouldn't lose yourself in a relationship, but find yourself. In a healthy relationship, you find yourself. And notice I'm saying find yourself. It's important for you to have things that you're passionate about and that you love to do. Now, nothing wrong with your partner doing those things with you. Hear me out here. Sometimes it's solo things. I'm going to make up something here. I'm not a golfer. I don't even like golf. I'm actually a tennis player. But let's say you play golf, or let's say your partner plays golf. Allowing your partner to go and to play golf with the buds, or if you're a female and you like to golf, I know a lot of my good female friends, they love, Pammy loves to golf. So again, allowing your partner that space to have a life again, nothing wrong with you going along and golfing with them if you enjoy golfing, or being the one that chauffeurs them around in the golf cart, drinking beer, smoking a cigar. I mean, like, whatever. It's just, don't try to keep your partner from the things that they love. And I would say then to you, to the individual that has this passion, don't let your partner shame you, fault you, manipulate you out of doing the things that you love. It's just really important, like going back to what I said, I love to play tennis. I play tennis regardless of whether my wife will play tennis with me or not. I'm going to play tennis. Now, granted, yesterday we played tennis together. It's one reason why I like the sport. I've grown up playing it. It's kind of a team effort. You can actually play with other couples. It's very enjoyable. But also, it's not a solo sport. I can't play tennis alone. I mean, I guess I could hit against a backboard, but that's just not as fun. So, you have to play with someone, and I really enjoy playing with my wife, but I also enjoy playing, competitively and entering tournaments and things. So make sure that you maintain your passions and your hobbies and your life. If your partner can be included and join with you, great. But if they can't, still do those things. It's important to do those things, either A, with your partner, or just make sure that you continue to do those things, because especially if you love those things, if they really bring you joy in a relationship, your partner should encourage you to continue to do things that you love to do. All right, number 3, having very open and honest communication. The communication is one of the biggest and most important, or not just biggest, but one of the most important things in a relationship, going good or bad. Meaning, if you have good communication, that really helps the relationship. If you have bad communication, that's bad on the relationship. So open and honest dialogue, having a safe space between you and your partner is very, very important. Here's the breakdown in communication that when I'm working with clients, that I see. If someone in a relationship isn't feeling safe, meaning they can't be open and honest because they'll use it against them, or that's not good. You need to be able to be open and honest in a relationship and have very open and honest conversations without fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of backlash, right? And maybe I need to do another video. I need to maybe think more about this and do another video about how that works and what that looks like, and how to develop an open and honest communication style. How to create a safe space for your partner. I mean, let's just be honest. You're not perfect, nor is your partner perfect. That should put us on an even playing field on being able to be open and honest. Listen, I'm human. You're human. I'm not without fault. You're not without fault. So we're equal here. No one's a saint. And so maintaining open and honest dialogue is so, 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 so important in a relationship. And then, let me get my book here. I set it down and I can't read it that far away. This is just a really important piece for the individual. I talk about this a lot to singles. I say, listen, it's not so much about finding the right person, it's about being the right person. In a relationship, one of the most important things that you can discover is who you are. Actually, it's good to discover that before. It's good to have a good idea of who you are. That makes a great partner, is knowing who you are. But in a relationship, it's also very important to know yourself. Not just know yourself in the relationship, but know yourself as an individual. And then know yourself in the relationship. And making sure that you're constantly taking some kind of time for personal growth, development, self-care, whether that's journaling, whether that's reading, whatever it is, making sure that you're continually always working on yourself. Very, very important. Okay, one last thing. in a relationship, so when you get into a relationship, it's as is. Okay, you should never try to change your partner, and never get into a relationship where you are saying this in your head. Well, when I help them quit drinking, they'll be great. Or if I can just help them with this, they'll be great. I know if I can just... That very rarely, if ever, works. Clearly, there's always exceptions to the rule. I'm sure somebody out there has a story of helping someone change. But typically that never works out. Make comments below. I'm curious to hear. Here's what is something that should happen in a relationship, though. In a relationship, we should be a positive influence on our partner and help them be better, just as they should help us be better. Not as an obligation, and not in force. I'm forcing them to be a better person. Just how can you know if you're with a good partner? They just make you a better person just by being in a relationship with them, right? That iron sharpens iron. That's just an important piece in a relationship. You don't want to be with someone who makes you a worse person. And I can't tell you how many sessions I've had with couples that he makes her a worse person, or she makes him a worse person. And clearly this is very easy to pick out, like in an addiction situation where someone has an addictive personality and they get into a relationship with someone and they feed into that addiction even more and more, and they kind of have this trauma bond where his addiction makes it worse on her addiction, and her addiction makes it worse on his addiction, and it's a cluster mess. Not good. That's not good, clearly, at all. Though, so, you know, if you're in the process of dating around, or if you're newly into a relationship, that's a great question to ask yourself to really kind of gauge where this relationship is, where it could go, and give you some insight into this person as it relates to you being in relationship with this person. I truly believe that some people are just toxic for each other. Some people are good for each other, right? And so knowing that and being honest about that is critically important. But what is one of the greatest questions that you can ask yourself about a new relationship is, does this person make me a better person? Again, not that it's their responsibility to make you better. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that if you're a worse person, it's all their fault. No, I'm not saying that. You're accountable to yourself. You're an adult. You know what I mean? You take accountability for your own stuff. But when you're in a relationship with someone, that's a great question to ask. Does this person make me a better person? Does this person make me a worse person? You know? And it shouldn't just be one-sided. Well, they tell me all the time I'm making them a better person, so I guess I'm needed. Mutually beneficial is the best way for a relationship. All right, guys. Peace. Appreciate it.